innings pitched.
Tonight we welcome Cub Scout Path 54 from center. Please rise and remove your hats as the Cape Cod Surf Tones will now present the national anthem.
Had a 2-game win streak, and then Hyannis came to town and shut that down. But Hyannis, their own, they haven't been able to string a couple of wins together in quite some time. They're coming off of a 2-game losing streak with the win the coming weeks. It's going to be kind of an experiment tonight with a guy who has not started here on the Cape.
But I do like here for Justin Lewis, and I know, and he gets to go, and I think it helps it a little more than it would hurt.
Lashley also hitting .348 with 5 RBIs and a home run in his last game. There's some guys in this Bourne lineup who Justin Lewis wants to stay away from because
this team is
quick play, but he doesn't.
I mean, we are
Be a third. Proctor. This one's chopped foul. 1-2 count to the cleanup hitter for the Bourne Braves and David McKinnon.
some of his pitches now, and especially against the can be called till you get to a full count. But if you're Justin Lewis, you know you want to get this guy out and head back after the first inning of your start.
Set the 2-2 delivery, swing and a miss from David McKinnon. It's in the dirt. Smith will have to make the throw, and he'll hit Cody Henry at first base. Third and final out here in the first. Justin Lewis gives down that chop.
I'm just saying, he had that one little lull that basically hurt him from getting his chance. Because I don't think if he doesn't have as bad of a lull that he has there, and he stays not as hot.
That 2 for 22 streak. Proctor has worked a 6-game hitting streak, 4 of which have been multi-hit games in the last 6 games. A 1-2 pitch, curveball. Proctor lays off.
Not to mention that home run.
Over the head of Yurchek. Coming around second will be Netzer, and it'll be runners at the corners with no outs for the Hyannis Harborhawks. Another base hit for Ford Proctor.
Yeah, maybe one more inch could have helped Yurchek there in that spot. And Proctor, it's twice now, really. One time for Bourne where they get a nice hop over Lewis. He's not able to make the play. And now for Hyannis, they just find the perfect bounce to get right over. I mean right over the glove of Yurchek. He was a piece of leather away from maybe tapping that ball down and maybe having to play at first.
It'll be Zach Rutherford coming to the plate. Rutherford, an all-star this year. First pitch from Perez is a curveball, and that one hits for a strike. As Rutherford, he's been very consistent in these last 5 games. 6 for his last 20. That's good for a 300 mark with 4 RBIs. And his last 10 hitting .342. This one he fouls off, and it's an 0-2 count now to Rutherford.
And this is what I'm talking about. Going against Perez, getting ahead of him early and finding ways to score runs, and it helps on both ends. You help your pitcher in Justin Lewis, who worked his way very well out of that first inning, but giving him an early run cushion can be all the difference.
0-2 pitch. This one is just sliced foul. Threw his hands at that 0-2 curveball on the inside half and couldn't knock it fair. Runners on the corners with no outs for the 3-hitter. Zach Rutherford, second on the team, tied for second on the team with 18 RBIs, but he won't get one here as he swings through that fastball from Perez, and there's one down.
Yeah, but he's replaced by another guy with high RBIs and second in the on Cape in RBIs, in Jordan Rogers. And for him, he only needs a sacrifice fly to tie Colton Shaver for the Cape lead.
Rogers has struggled in his last 10 games, hitting .206, but he swings at the first pitch there, right at the second baseman, McVeigh. He turns the second. The throw on to first is not in time. 1 run will cross. Rogers picks up his 22nd RBI of the season. It's a 1-0 lead for him.
There you go. Rogers gets that final RBI to give him a tie for the lead, and Hyannis puts himself up 1-0. And you help themselves out, and you still have Dylan Busby up to bat. He's another guy with 1 swing of the bat.
Busby has been very cold as of late. Hitting .190 in his last 5. Getting a little bit weary. Next pitch from Perez is inside. It's a 2-0 count tonight. Much needed for Hutchinson. This one nails Dylan Busby. Skin for the third out. He'll get through a wall.
He's patient for everything to
Just in your center field. It looks like his glove came off.
Yeah.
I've always sitting in the bullpen.
I believe that's Gonzalez. So
Gonzalez is throwing,
we'll
but
him.
we've also pitched. A curveball misses on the outer half as Netzer doesn't bite. Leadoff walk as
with his swing and staying in the box, taking a lot of pitches, fighting them off, and so far you see, hit by a pitch the first inning.
First pitch is roped out into right field. Netzer rounding second, and he will come into third. A strong throw from Mangum, and now they've got Ford Proctor in a pickle. Netzer dancing around on the third base line as applying the tag is Yurchek. Now the play at the plate is not in time, and Brett Netzer scores the second run of the game for Hyannis. Great base running from Brett Netzer, and great work from Ford Proctor to get himself in a pickle between first and second.
Yeah, and you see with Proctor where in the first part, I don't know if he clearly didn't plan that he was going to go there. He thought he had a shot because they were going to try and throw to Netzer at third. But the infield made a stop to try and catch him. And he just stood there. He was waiting for someone to come to him because he saw Netzer was at third. So he's thinking, I got to play this out a little bit. And part of that's on Yurchek. He followed him too far. He didn't keep an eye on Netzer. And Netzer, when he saw he was going to go all for Proctor, he ran.
2-0 lead for Hyannis as Rutherford fouls the first pitch off. Second hit of the day for Ford Proctor continues this hot streak. Proctor is not credited with the RBI. I don't really think that he minds as a run crosses for Hyannis, increases their lead. Fastball from Perez is down the middle for a strike. Hyannis teams, and that's one Hyannis team when they're at McKeon Park or Judy Scarafile Field, and another team when they're everywhere else on the Cape. And it is completely different. As Hyannis, they're hitting 270 at home, hitting 230 away. But the pitching staff, those are where the big numbers come in. A 2.82 ERA at home, a 6.71 ERA anywhere else. Rogers watches ball 2 go by.
I mean, part of that doesn't help playing Brewster twice on the road. And for Hyannis, I think it's a very even line of they find times that they're struggling, and then they happen to find really good pitching in that game that they play on the road. I mean, they face really good pitching here at times, but more times than not, you've seen them have to face a pitcher when they're on while they're on the road.
Rogers fouls this one back. It's a 2-2 count now. But, I mean, you've also seen Hunter Williams from lost. I mean, Hyannis, they've hit 9 home runs. Or pitching staff has given up 10 home runs away, but only 4 here. Dylan Busby steps in for his second at bat. Was hit by a pitch in his first.
They do tell a lot of it with Newton, and now coming as relief guys. I'll admit they've had their struggles, and it's early on in the season where they know how those numbers fall really for the team.
3 games at home and 4 games on the road. And everybody will be out double. Now 2 base hits with 2 outs here in the third, and that will be Cody Henry's job.
Pretty shallow. Bonds having a tough
Henry Hyannis. Even when he ran into first at bat and takes a strike here, Lewis takes a breath. He'll step off now. At the track and over his shoulder.
and
Left side, but it trickles foul.
Position players on their roster right now.
He started in all 59 games. And then he started in every game here until he was finally pulled.
That outer half.
First. But you know the arm on Dylan Busby, and you know that he can. As Ricky Smith still looking for his first hit up here on Cape Cod. Louisville this pass.
And right at the
This curveball. Oh, no, he didn't. They appeal it to the first base umpire, and John as well. Hyannis, that
self and picks up
almost the same. Giving up 3 from 2-2. 350 average set. Here's the of the dugout. That looks to be it for Justin Lewis in his longest outing here. File with a 5-0 lead. Matt Naylor struggled in that 8.
Wouldn't expect
last season.
Way outside.
File field 30 on the season. He's really
patient in the box. Stuff to him. Part of is the pitch.
Rogers swings at this one, fouls it off. Busby tries to pick it off with his hand. Mention his name. All 4. Dylan Busby works his way on once again with 2 outs in the inning. 3-7. This Hyannis team. Trey Truitt as a hitter. Hot and humid. 7 up with Matt Naylor.
Is outside. Continuing to.
He's been
here to. And
first.
Coming to score.
Fastball. I mean, that was a 2 hits. Straight into
is FAU player.
Biochemistry.
6-4 lead for Miss Evan Mendoza.
On this.
Quickly grabs
South Florida.
Field and getting Proctor by Henry. The stomach of Truitt. And it'll be
He got a man aboard.
as Bourne. A base hit for Brett Netzert. And A two at the bell hits, and
But